Uyo uko kuno apo pano mamuona kere nice.
Right, 30 October 2021, and today I'm joined by Senator Kalipani Pugeni. How are you, Senator?
I'm on top of the world. Manchester United won today. At least my son is going to have a good night's sleep, because what they've been doing to that little soul is extremely unfair and evil.
Okay, I was not privileged to watch soccer today. I've been extremely busy, and I'm sure that soccer is going well. I'll be able to catch up very, very soon tonight.
Yeah, I caught up
Senator.
a bit of you.
Yes, Senator, you spent a day today with Dr. Thokozani Kupe.
Yeah.
Let me show you what was happening, and then maybe you can explain to us what was happening here.
Detection saves life. Any detection.
Right, what was that all about?
Yeah, you know, Dr. Kupe is a breast cancer survivor. That's why you see me in this pink mask today. So she was celebrating or commemorating or doing her annual campaign that she does, awareness campaign about cancer, the causes, the prevention, and what needs to be done to try and save lives. As you hear the slogan, early detection saves lives. So try and get yourself tested. If you go to, she's got a Facebook page, which was started towards the 2018, that says Dr. Kupe for President. You will find almost all the program there until the battery ran off there. And then they switched to Thokozani Kupe's Facebook page. So those two Facebook pages will give you everything that was happening there. Honorable Mkuni was there as well, and she did a wonderful lecture on cancer. I think she's one of the most knowledgeable persons in the country on the subject. It was an awesome day. I got to spend with my grandmothers, with my mothers, and my sisters. It was a very, very lovely day.
Yeah, Senator, the issue of breast cancer to me is very personal. My grandmother died of breast cancer, and about 6 months before she died, she came to me, and she had a small lump on her breast, and she showed me and said, "I've got a lump, and I don't know what's happening." And obviously, we took her to the doctor, and because of tradition, she was not able to do the operation within those 6 months. And by the time they then finally agreed to do the operation, it was already too late, and she died. There is no death that is as painful as that one of breast cancer. You know, if it happens to you, and if you see someone suffering from breast cancer, you understand totally.
I think you ought to come
Sorry.
on board. I think you ought to come on board with the Dr. Kupe Cancer Foundation. Next year, it's going to be celebrating its 10th anniversary. Come on board and be part of that. There are a lot of wonderful things that are lined up. There are a lot of things that they really want to do. It's a very good initiative. At least politics from a bit, you won't regret it.
I'll definitely do so. So, Senator, let's get to the topic of today.
Okay.
The special rapporteur of the United Nations, Professor Elena Dohan, produced her report last week, and she gave her recommendations. And she found that there are illegal sanctions on Zimbabwe that are harming ordinary people, that are preventing the government from providing services. And these sanctions should be removed on individuals and on corporations. Then the next day, the MDC Alliance gave their response. And I want to take a bit of time on this, so you have to give me a bit of time.
Okay.
The MDC Alliance has written a letter to the United Nations to complain about Professor Elena Dohan They are complaining of procedural and substantive issues.
Okay.
And in the speech which was delivered by Tendai Biti, they said the only solution is direct dialogue between President of Zimbabwe, Idi Mnangagwa, and Nelson Chamisa, and the sanctions should only be removed when Chamisa takes over. I think we need to play that portion so that everyone agrees and sees that what I'm saying is what he said.
We call for genuine dialogue, guaranteed by SADC, guaranteed by the international community. We call for reforms, constitutional reforms, electoral reforms, as we argued in our two documents, Reload and Prize. We call for a sustainable Zimbabwe, led by a leader chosen and loved by the people, whom, by the way, is Advocate Nelson Chamisa.
Right. So these sanctions should not be removed until a leader that is loved by the people, Nelson Chamisa, is in charge. And if you listen to the statement by Biti, he refused to use the word sanctions. He used the word measures. He never used the word sanctions at any point. He also refused to address the issue of whether the sanctions are harming ordinary people, ordinary Zimbabweans. Now let's go to the procedural issues. Biti says Elena Dohan did not respect them when they had a meeting. Her attitude towards them was not the attitude of respect. Her demeanor did not please the MDC alliance. Also, her report came too soon after the meeting. They don't feel that she took into account what they said. Then they want to know who funded Elena Dohan's trip to Zimbabwe. So those are the procedural issues. Now let's go to the substantive issues. The MDC alliance says there are no unilateral sanctions on Zimbabwe. The measures that are there, they are because of corruption and election rigging and human rights abuses. So those are the three reasons why there are sanctions. Then it says the impact of sanctions on the economy is not what Elena Dohan says. The economy is being mismanaged. That's why it is where it is. Because during the GNU, this economy was functional, and Zimbabwe is able to trade. As we speak right now, Zimbabwe is trading openly and freely with other countries. Then he says sanctions are not causing corruption. And then he says, well, as I said, Zimbabwe did well during the GNU. And so this blaming of sanction is not the correct position. The correct position is that the ZANU-PF government is mismanaging the economy and is corrupt. So I think I've captured everything that they said. And I want to, before you answer my questions, I want to go back to Professor Elena Dohan and hear what she said.
I'm calling for a structural dialogue, not only within the country. There shall be a dialogue between the government of Zimbabwe as well as other states. And I was very happy to find out, after talking to the representatives of diplomatic community, that this dialogue has started. I have heard from all of them that they are in the process of negotiation, and that's a good start. Maybe the way forward will be a long one, but the beginning, every road starts with the very first step. The same exists at the national level. As I can observe, there is very high level of polarization in the society as concerns the approach of the problem of sanctions. That's why I call probably we shall forget about the sanctions rhetoric as an advocacy tool. Probably we shall start speak about law, facts, and human rights protection.
Right, Senator, let's start where she ended. Do you believe that the sanctions on Zimbabwe are causing suffering among Zimbabweans, ordinary Zimbabweans?
Okay, let's do a bit of housekeeping because there are some folks who, for some reason, they just join this platform a day or two, and then they come here, they think they know it all, and they want to impose certain reasoning and whatsoever, just for their benefit. You know, we have this platform. I am not here to persuade anyone. I'm not here to represent anyone. I'm just here because my friend says there's this topic. Would you like your views to be non-public? And I'm like, yeah, I can talk on this public. It's my view. If you don't like it, switch off, go to another channel, or substitute it with your own view. It's fine. There is no law that says what Puken says it must happen. So yeah, chill down, take a chill pill, and then just go on with life. It's just two friends discussing. We happen to have a wider community online that wants to listen to us talk. That's all we are doing. Don't, you know, President Biden said that politics doesn't have to be a ball of raging fire. That's basically what it is. I don't represent anyone. I can't even persuade my own son that Lionel Messi is the best player compared to Ronaldo. So who am I to think that I can persuade people who are non-reasonable to a certain extent? Right. With that out of the way, indulge me, Kambakwa, indulge you. You took a long time introducing. Also indulge me before I go to your question direct. You see, one of the things about this government that I think has been missed a lot. We all know that it's a military government. It's fine. It's got a civilian face, but we know it's a military government. As a matter of fact, that's a military government, right? Without saying whether it's good or bad, but I'm saying as a matter of fact, it's a military government with a civilian face. Fine. But one issue that has been missed and has not been spoken about is that this government relies much on intelligence. So you know that the president, all of his life, His Excellency, all of his life, he's been an intelligence man. So most of the operations and all of the things that are happening are really intelligence-led. And I think the response from the opposition, it doesn't matter all the different fragmentations of the opposition. We lack the necessary attention on how we ought to respond. We are used to just the traditional politics. I'll give you an example, and I'm about to give you gossip. This is gossip. So this is gossip on a Saturday night. You remember the military intervention of November 17 was meant to be done by Zimbabweans, including the MTC, and there was going to be some government of national unity, but some government that also involved the opposition. I don't know if you saw that report or you know about that. You do, right?
I'm aware of that, yes.
Now, that government failed in this way. Rumor goes like this, that HE then appointed 10 individuals in the opposition to his cabinet, or he said, I want to appoint so and so and so and so. And amongst those appointments, the late Dr. Morgan Tsvangirai was not there. And it wasn't like he had so much of a say. Those are people that HE as president wanted. And obviously, the late Tsvangirai was not going to have it for whatever reason. And that's how the whole thing collapsed, okay? Now, if you look at it and you think, well, if you're looking at it with an innocent eye, you think, well, why couldn't they negotiate? But if you're like me, you know that it was an intelligence operation, which was always meant to collapse the whole thing. It was always meant to collapse the whole thing. So there are a lot of things that are happening, which I've told you some of them here, that we are given a lot of fake balls to keep chasing around. The things even that you, the media, report on are things that you should be worried about. But we are kept worried and concentrating on that when real issues are happening. Right now, there's this whole thing that no, there are certain people that are negotiating, that there be no elections and negotiating. Now, I read yesterday, I saw a headline that says ZANU-PF claims that it's got 4 million membership. So if they've got 4 million membership, you know what that means. Right? While we are busy, worried there's not going to be elections and all those things. So I am sorry. The approach which they have taken, it's an approach, and I'm now responding to your question. The approach which they have taken, it's an approach which will put them at loggerheads with the international diplomatic corps, and it's going to be an untenable position. I am not sure if I would have gone that route, considering that they have said they don't support the sanctions. They are not responsible for sanctions. They want them lifted. So if you then turn back when there's someone who wants to help you do that, and you turn back and say, no, we are against it. Don't remove the sanctions until AEBCD happens. Then basically you are for sanctions. You are using them political. So they are caught between a rock and a hard place. Remember, ZANU or its sympathizers have also been dangling this whole thing of this stick. It's not even a carrot. There is this stick of a patriotic act, and if my thinking is correct, and usually I'm not wrong on these things, they are just going to take the American Patriotic Act and remove where it says United States of America and put Zimbabwe. And if they do that, much of the people in the opposition who are against the removal of sanctions are not going to make it in terms of public office.
Okay, Senator, you have said a lot, and I want us to unpack it for our audience. Let's start with, I think lawyers call this locus.
Yeah.
Tendai Bit, does he have a right to speak on what the Professor Elena Dohan has said? Can he write a letter about her contents? Are they directed to him or are they directed to the US?
No, yes, he does have locus standi on many fronts. I think he did try and enunciate them. First of all, I think one of them, he is a Zimbabwean citizen. Number two, he is also a major political player. I am not part of those people who, when you differ with someone, then you want to reduce and diminish or minimize their role. PT is not an ordinary person. He is one of the most important persons in this country. He is a former finance minister who did well in managing the national purse. And there is a powerful point he mentioned in that presser yesterday, whenever it happened anyway, it might not have been yesterday, I listened to it yesterday, is that we did well under the GNU. And he might have perhaps used his words in a manner that I would not have used them, to try and make the point, which is an important point, that this country is better off when these two warring factions can somehow find each other, like what happened, somehow find each other like what happened in the GNU, and work together. The numbers don't lie. President Clinton will say, is the economy stupid? Numbers don't lie, Kambakwe. The exponentially growth of GDP and people's daily living experience is huge under GNU. So you would want a repeat of that. Now, anything short of people trying to find each other, these politicians in this country, is not going to give you the results. Yes, there are changes here and there if you compare to how low we had sunk, but I don't think it will be enough without these politicians, one of them saying, I'm going to be the adult here. Right. Now, here's another gossip, by the way. Here's another gossip. I also know that there is a time when HE arranged for a meeting, and even a house was suggested in Harare by the Alliance, and they pulled off last minute, and HE was willing to go as far as going to the house which they had chosen and meet their leader there, and I understand then last minute, I don't know what changed, and they pulled off. Now, I'm of the view that if NC wants to really talk to HE, I'm of the view that he knows where to go and what to do. Because don't forget, Kambakwe, these two had a relationship. They had a relationship. The relationship lasted as far as April independence, 2018, we know that relationship was there because NC was the independence celebration. So for the life of me, I just don't understand why the choice of how are we going to move from here? Because I can tell you, in terms of African politics, Africa says remove sanctions.
Okay, Senator, I want to hold you there, Senator. Before we go to Africa, the MDC alliance does not recognize the win of President Idi Mnangagwa in 2018. That is where the sticking point is.
Well, look, that ship has long sailed. You know, there are a lot of people who say they don't recognize me. Well, I don't think it's a realistic position. It's not a realistic position. That's the point I am making. You need to know when to accept things you can't change. If you don't know how to do that, you're not going to be able to move forward. Let me give you an example. Juju says the NC was already negotiating with them because the NC had lost Gauteng, right? The NC somehow managed to rig, right, using the IEC. After rigging, they then pulled off of those negotiations and say, actually, it looks like we don't even need to negotiate with you. We have won. Now, the FF realizes that there's nothing we can do about this. Rather than accept now and go and mobilize and work hard. And they know that the next election will come and they need to see where were the weaknesses last time around and plug all those gaps. Now, if you sit there and refuse that the man is the president, when he is the president, look, right now, nothing happens without him. He's there. Whether I like it or I don't like it, you know, a lot of people get angry when I address him as HE. Anyone who sits in that office, I'll address them as HE. Wake up in the morning and put NC there. He will be His Excellence. The first time when Jacob Mfume occupied that office in Harare, I did call him His Worship. You know, when we were in the big fight of our lives with them, when they just felt that they had won the Harare mayoral city, because the office demanded us. You see?
Okay.
So
but then the obvious question from there is Chamisa is refusing to go to Poland. So he's refusing to recognize President Mnangagwa. He's refusing to go to Poland. Your question then has an answer. If they don't recognize President Mnangagwa and they don't want to go to Poland, the whole thing of dialogue is dead in the water.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily. I've just told you that gossip again. There was a meeting set up in Harare, a house chosen by NC's team. And HE was willing to go there. Of course, there's going to be a clean sweep up of security and whatever. I mean, the head of state is coming. And they pulled it off last minute. Not HE, you know, but the other side. Now, it doesn't have to be dead in the water. That's the point I'm making. I'm simply saying, my feeling is that there are people around maybe that are just making it difficult. If I had the opportunity to advise, I'll simply say, go back to whoever you were in contact with when that relationship was functional and try something. They just have to meet. Come on, come back. They just have to meet. Let's give them an example. Me and you. I mean, in December, I was very angry with you, extremely angry with you. I boycotted your shows. I wasn't even coming here. But privately, we were talking. We were talking almost on a daily basis. But we just differed politically. Now, differing politically is normal and healthy if you want to fight for the people. At the end of the day, we are fighting about ideas here, right? There's no idea that is worth suffering and dying for. I've already said it last week. You know, even those that are going around trying to stop NC exercising his constitutional rights, they are wrong, and we must isolate those people. And it's unfortunate that the government is not arresting those people, and it's unfortunate that you were reporting that is faking those attacks. It's not faking those attacks. And I can tell you why. when Honorable Mamombe was claimed to have been faking the attack on her, she got arrested. So the mere fact that nothing is happening on the so-called people that are attacking Chamisa tells you that that thing is not fake, that thing is not made up. Those attacks are real, and those attacks must be condemned, and the police must help us. They must arrest those people and make sure that we can have a country where people can differ and disagree without being disagreeable. But if you think, and this is directed to you, Kambak, if you think that NC can just be dismissed like that, no, you have to think again. Unfortunately, he commands a large following. And those people need to be accommodated because they are Zimbabweans as well. So we need to accommodate them.
Okay, Senator, you are entering a topic that I think we need to take time on.
Okay.
Because I think the problem is not the ZANU-PF. The problem is the MDC. Lack of tolerance in the MDC is so high. They don't see any other political party as a political party. Take, for example, their refusal to go into Poland because they say other political parties are too small. They don't command a huge support. I think the MDC alliance is now the stumbling block in Zimbabwe for dialogue.
Yeah, but remember what I said to you. That position suits this intelligence-led administration very well. It suits them very, very well. You know, I have said it over and over again on this platform. Sometimes you draw back or you withdraw in order for you to move forward. And it will look as if they seem to have a different strategy. I don't know how they are going to go about it, but I can tell you, if the reporting is correct that ZANU-PF has already got 4 million, and I can tell you right now, the opposition, in all our different fragmentation, if you put us together, we don't have a record of how many membership, you know, putting all of us together. We don't have that record because we are busy fighting all these other useless wars. When these guys are really moving, they just give us some red meat here, which they know that we love. Last week is a good example, the issues we're discussing last week. That's red meat that just gets given to us, and we run with it whilst they are busy running with the core serious things. They can wake up tomorrow and call for an election when everyone thinks that they're not going to call for an election. So that is where the issue is. For me, that is where the issue is. And I did not say that the problem is, and I never said that. I am in opposition to them anyway because I'm an opposition leader. That's true. But the point I am making is this, is that there is no room for violence. And those that are engaged in any form of violence, they ought to be condemned in the strongest term possible, and they ought to be isolated. We must not entertain them. I can tell you this, Kambakwe, even as I come to an end. When those MDC alliance members were during their Congress there in South Africa, they were after you. You did not enjoy that. Even 3 weeks ago, when they were trying to stop you after they invited you, you didn't enjoy that. When the minister said you are one of rock media houses that have to be dealt with, you did not enjoy that. Because it was an injustice done to you. And I'm saying to you, with all the differences you may have with NC, it is not fair. He's got a wife, he's got children, and seeing their father's car in that shape and knowing that anything can happen to him, it's just not fair. We have children, come back. I have a son that you know very well. When things happen to me, when things are said about me, it hurts and is confused, so he doesn't understand what is happening to Daddy.
Okay, that's why I'm saying this is a big topic that we need to address. The MDC, to me, they cannot complain of violence because they equally dish out violence. I know personally myself, they've stopped me from doing my work, not because I was doing something wrong, but just because they didn't want people to see certain things. So I think let's take this on another day and focus on...
No. I won't let you go that easy. It's not only the MDC, by the way, which is violent. It's the entire country. when Dr. Cooper was hunted down like a wild animal, you guys, the media, you kept your mouth shut. The whole country kept its mouth shut. After she lost an election, when she was not allowed to campaign, when all of her money was taken away, you all pretended like you don't know. You simply sat there and say, when she lost an election, she was rejected by people. That's the truth of the matter, is that you have what we call collective amnesia as a country. We are also living in a country of collective dishonesty. And I think what we need to do, Kambakwe, let me give you an example. In Britain, and we're doing sociology now. In Britain, one of the values in Britain is an upward trajectory in that you must just do well. You must succeed. It's one of the values that are inculcated in the family structure as they grow up in society. You must do well, but not at all cost, because one then of the values, again, amongst the many values, is that you must be an honest and a decent person. So as you're making money, you will make it in an honest and decent manner. But in Zimbabwe, it's allowed to win anyhow. As long as you have won, it's okay, right? So this is a societal problem that we ought to deal with. And you are correct. Maybe we must go back to what happened after the death of President Tsvangirai and deal with all of those matters. And fast forward, deal with what happened at the EOC in December, deal with what happened to Mashumba and all the other people. We must agree that violence must play no role. And we must not glorify those that use violence as a political tool. We must not glorify them. We must isolate them. We must ostracize them. We must shame them. This whole thing that today we say, no, we condemn this, and then the next day we're glorifying them. No, it's wrong.
Okay, let's conclude, Senator. The MDC Alliance, they spoke before the United States Embassy or even the United States spoke on this report. What is the impact of this statement that they've made before the people who put the sanctions responded?
No, look, BT was just having his PR moment. I was listening to whoever came after him and said, actually, you were lecturing. No, you're missing the point. The point is not to lecture. The point is to persuade. And I don't think they persuaded anyone. You can't go for the jugular to such a high-profile person. I would have gone it differently. I would have gone and persuaded Britain. I would have gone and persuaded the Americans and whatsoever, and let them have that, be the ones who are pushing back. But no, that statement, like I told you, it's playing right into the hands of this administration, and I don't see it going anywhere. It was
Senator.
It was a moment of thunder for him personally. I know that statement, it did more harm than good for their cause.
Okay. Do you think Chamisa agrees with this position, or it's BT going on a tangent?
I don't know. I don't know. I must be honest. I don't know.
Okay. Before I give you a last word, I want to say you've been receiving a lot of good reviews here. People like the way you are approaching this. Obviously, MDC Alliance guys, they think I'm biased, but I'm not. And I want to ask Chamisa, BT, Mahere, Trust me, those guys must tell their guys to allow me to cover to do my work. And I'm making this, it's not a request. A democratic political party will allow journalists that they do not agree with to cover them. I don't think they should do what they're doing to block me from doing my work. And then I want to obviously point out, I wanted to point you to my brother, Taffy the Man. I want to appreciate him for, he just gave you a nice comment there. You know Taffy the Man, right?
I'm getting old, Kambako, so let me come close. No, thank you, Taffy. Thank you, Taffy. Thank you, Taffy Mapara. Thank you
Yeah,
so
he's in
much.
the United States. He was supposed to visit me here before COVID. Unfortunately, things happened. And someone hacked his Facebook page just because they didn't agree with him. At the same time, my Facebook page was hacked. It had thousands of followers, and he lost it. So I want to say the opposition party, MDC Alliance, I'm always going to be on their case. If they do not allow proper opposition and proper analysis of their strategies by media, they cannot complain about ZANU-PF to me. I will not even listen to them. If they don't allow me, I'll be inside the room where the MDC is doing their thing. And I don't want to be bothered. I don't want to be disturbed by them. Just the same way I'm in ZANU-PF offices and rooms and no one disturbs me. I should be allowed to do my work. And everyone should be allowed to do their work. So,
well, I agree with you there 100%. But I also told you that I think one of the first steps you need to do to at least assist them and assist yourself to have this healthy relationship is to stop attacking or entertaining attacks on Mahere. And I'll keep going back to this issue. I think 3 or 4 times in this platform, you have spoken about her being pregnant by Chamisa, which has never happened. And no one has even apologized to say, you know what, we are sorry. It's just not fair. You know, it's just not fair what we do to women. Being in that position as a woman is not easy. I can tell you that being a spokesperson, being a face of anything as a woman, it's not easy. That's why I'm very happy that the spokesperson for our government is Memutswaka, and she's doing a fabulous job. Now, if you are there and the game is not fair, and I hate this about us, you have males in politics that are really, really prostitutes of the worst kind. You glorify them, you speak well about them. But when it comes to women, you always, guys, go to the lowest, to the really bottom of the pit where we can go. We sexualize them, we talk so bad about them, we say all of these things. It's just not fair. It's not right. It's not right. Say things about us. We are men, we can take this. But I speak like this because I saw what Dr. Kupe went through and what the media did to her. Today, no one wants to explain to us what happened to her relationship with HE, because she was supposed to be having a romantic relationship with HE. But now that she is no longer where she was, because no one wanted to acknowledge that she was there because of her tenacity and hard work. She was there because of the relationship with HE. Now she's not there. No one is explaining to us that, guess what? That relationship has ended. It ended like this, like this. No. And the public allows that just to go ahead. But anyway, the long and short of it, I'm simply saying you can help that by being fair to Mahere and even going as far as apologizing to her. You really have to go out of your way and apologize to her and promise to protect her. When your guests come to your platform, she has to be protected. I can tell you this, I don't want a situation where we are in a contest and those that we can really have a good contest with somehow sidelined or pushed away in an unfair manner. I want to compete with the best. So you must make sure that she's protected, she's there, she will come to your platform and be happy to articulate. She articulates another platform. But why she should come to a platform where the most protected things are said about her? She will not come here.
I don't want her to come here. Honestly, I don't want any of the MDC Alliance guys here. That is the truth, Senator. I will stop my work and my analysis of them. You know, when I talk about MDC Alliance, I want to go to the level of detail, and I don't want them here because then I will feel obliged to go easy on them. Because the alliance, I like to analyze their strategy.
We don't know what happened to you with the alliance. They made you run around with your cameras and whatever. We had stones rain on us for 3 hours with Dr. Kupe. I had an 80-year-old man who was hit badly. If I delayed from Pumula, if I delayed with 5 minutes, he was going to die. But I've put all of that behind me. And I said, I will not treat them the way they treated us. I will not do that. And I appeal to you to have that in your heart. I really don't know where your relationship went wrong with them. You were basically bootlicking the man. And I don't know what happened. But don't...
Don't... Senator Mahere, when she was campaigning, and I was on Chamisa's side, he campaigned "Wish my family dead." People like Kudamsa Siwa, they wrote on Facebook that they wish my family dead. You should check it out. And I tagged her on that, and she didn't respond. So they are getting as much as they give. And I can promise you, if they want to get it, they will get it here. Because the energy with which I was campaigning for Chamisa, if we direct it against them, they will be working extra hard. Because that is how this works.
Okay, but I think I have told you before. I told you before, don't listen to this shallow analysis of lazy people who saying Puken wants something. I think just after Dr. Kupe took over power, I told you then that I'm uneasy. I may not come to a platform if my area is constantly attacked. Same thing with Honorable Joanna Mamond. And I maintain that position, give it to them and whatever, but don't use this platform for such type of politics, because it will make it difficult for some of us to come, unless it's a way of kicking me out of your platform, which I will gladly, well, not gladly, I will reluctantly agree, but I don't want it to be a platform of hate. Zimbabwe is too divided. I'm sorry about what they did to you, but the Bible says when they hit you the other cheek, give the other one. And I implore you to rise to that level.
Okay, this has been an interesting debate on our editorial policy on Chamisa. I think as we go towards the election, we'll see who's mightier, the pen or the sword. And well,
come back.
Time will tell.
I know you're a businessman. Listen, I know you're a businessman. I know you want to come home. If you want to come back home, you want to come to a united country, I can tell you that you'll do far, far better. You can look at all the countries that are doing well. They are more united, unity of purpose, single-minded in the development of their country. Now, this division is not going to help you at all. When 3 or 4 people have concentration of power and concentration of money and wealth and whatever, such an economy does not strive. Right now, what you need is you need an economy that gives everyone their constitutional freedoms, where everyone is enjoying life and everything. Allow Chamisa to differ with you. It's okay. Those from my area's campaign who wished your family dead are wrong. And those are the people I'm saying we must ostracize, we must shame them every day. But she must, let me close by this, come back, let me close by this, and these are my last words, we're closing, we've spoken for too long, I'm hungry, I need to eat. President Obama was abused during the campaign, the primary campaign, was abused racially by the Clinton campaign. I read this from his book. And then his campaign hit back using the Monica Lewinsky scandal. So he sat them down. He said, listen, this is not how I want to win. I know you feel aggrieved, but this is not who I am. If I'm going to lose, I must lose with dignity. I would rather lose with dignity than win in such a way. So that's what I'm appealing to you. I hear what they did to you. I'm very sorry about it. I'm saying to you, 3 hours of raining stones, property damaged. Chief Ndlovu, Dr. Kupe, Abednego Pepe, Honorable Monzora were almost bent in a heart. And so I'm simply saying to you, you are not alone on this, but I'm appealing to you, take the high road. God never disappoints. Let God do your revenge, not yourself.
Okay, I get you, Senator, and I'll try my best.
Thank you.
To cover some nice things about Chamisa and the MDC Alliance.
No, I just want you to be fair. I don't necessarily want you to charge nice things. Like I'm telling you, the whole issue was the unfair attacks, especially on Mahere. How you cover Chamisa is really up to you, but it affects your bottom line. And I told you we need this platform. It doesn't help when so many people think, this is toxic for me, I'm no longer coming to this platform. Even ZANU-PF, which you may support, I don't know whether I support or not, may not benefit from that, because what you want is you want all of the people there, and we persuade each other, and superior logic prevails. That's all we want. Now, the unfortunate thing is that those that you guys love, you are happy when they close the debate. But those that you don't like, when they try and close the debate, they are published badly and whatsoever. Let the debate happen in a dignified way, and let superior logic prevail. Why don't people want their ideas to be tested through questioning? We ought to question these ideas. If you bring an idea and you think it's a good idea, let's test it. Let's put it to the test. Let's debate in a dignified way. Give everyone a chance. Let me put it to you this way. If, as a result of a debate and challenging each other's views, we end up with the best leadership amongst us, everyone wins. Even the ones that think they have lost, they win, because then we'll have a good economy, we'll have a good country, and everyone lives in prosperity.
Yes, but Senator, I want to challenge you there. You are being one-sided. Chamisa and his party, they are refusing to go to Poland on the basis that all the other people there are not worth it. And I haven't heard you criticizing that position.
No, you are being dishonest. Go back to the videos, even on the spokesperson for Poland. I've told you over and over again, let me remind you the phrases. You can't win a boxing match outside the ring. You've heard me say that. It was in relationship to what? It was in relationship to Poland. I've told you that over and over again. It's a bad strategy from where I am. You go there, you tell them there in their face that you can't challenge me, you have no mandate. You go there right in their face, you have no mandate, you can't challenge me. You do that if that is what you think. But to make noise in what HE calls lone voices in the wilderness, I think he said that in the speech of the 22nd December at his farm in Sherwood, 2019. You know, he said, let's just ignore the lone voices in the wilderness there. That's what you end up with. But when you are there, you are able to argue and put facts on the table. So no, if you are honest, go back to the videos. That's what I find difficult about Zimbabweans, is that they are not even thorough. The ones who try to criticize me, because I don't even think that's proper critique. They're not even thorough to do a research. What has this guy said? You know, of lately you had some of these people saying he's trying to ask for something. I'm saying, as back as when Dr. Kupe took over, I refused to criticize or critique Honorable Joanna Mamong. I said I may not be able to come to Kambakwe media because of the attacks on my hair. What did I want there? When the Catholics were attacked by the government, you also attacked them here in your platform. I defended the bishops. I stood up and I defended the Catholic bishops. So what did I want to do? I wanted to be a Catholic. Really? An Adventist. You understand? So
yeah.
If you take your time and do a research, then you'll understand the type of politics we're doing. I know it takes time. It's taxing. It's everything. But we are trying to build a better Zimbabwe. It's not being in the Senate. It's not everything. Yes, it's got its perks and it's good. I'm okay. That's fine. But that's not all we are about. If we wake up in the morning and we have a Zimbabwe that have people who agree to disagree but remain respectable, I'm happy. My job is done. And by the way, much of it is done. If you consider the many people I speak to, some of them come to you. The other one phoned me. Fortunately, I was with you and they might talk to us. So we are making progress, albeit very small, but we are making progress, because the ideals we are advocating for, my friend, it's a paradigm shift of immense proportions. So I understand the stiffness of people, and so they want to drag me down and bring me down to their level because they always do things for reward or to gain something. No, I don't want anything. I don't want to get any favor from anyone. These are my views. You have an opportunity to know me very closely, and you have seen how I operate. These are my views. I don't buy anyone's favor. I don't care. No, I'm just trying in my little way to make Zimbabweans try and find each other, because evidence shows us that when we worked together, we always did better.
Okay, and you're echoing the words here of Professor Elena Dohan. I think she got it spot on when she said there's too much polarization in the society of Zimbabwe. And she recommended dialogue between the Zimbabwe government and the people who impose sanctions, the Americans, and also among Zimbabweans. I think she got it right, and you're summarizing basically what she said. Senator, is there anything else you want to say before we close?
Good night. I would like to say great minds think alike. Good night. This is in reference to me and the professor.
True. You are aligned with her. And when I was watching her speaking, I've got the full interview from ZTN. Yeah. She's an amazing woman. And I feel sorry for people who are attacking her to make a point. People like Hopewell, I feel sorry for Hopewell because he thinks he's an American. And he wants to echo the views of the Americans everywhere, every time. And I feel sorry for him because as he grows older, he's going to understand that he needs to understand to bring this cohesion in the country, not to fight the government every day, even when it's not worth it.
No, I think you are wrong when you're saying he thinks he's American, but it's fine. Good night. Let's leave it at that, because he's a Zimbabwean. He's got a right to speak his mind without being demeaned like that. Good night. Come back. We'll talk. There's another Saturday next week. Good night.
Thank you, Senator.
Kuno abo bano mama wanna get it nice. I know Buddha meso, I know Buddha nzebe, I know kaya marigi. Kama kwetu tikomu.
Kambakwe uyo anotara mari anogaya mari garai mamunzwa pane nyaya pano zvamunoda kunzwa zvinotaurwa pano madiko kumunzwa mugovane.com. Kambakwe vanogaya mari vanotaura mari vanosiya mari. Kambakwe vanotaura feya kuti pamberi zvichafamba sei. Vanhu muteerere zvikubatsirei mukufamba kwenyu zvikubatsirei. Mirai ndikudzei kuti chokwadi pano chizere. Kambakwe vanogaya cash vanopa mafacts vanotaura straight vane evidence vane confidence plus intelligence.
Entertainment, current affairs and news. Kambakwe.com. Usasarire Kambakwe anukaya mari.